Hello to our viewers. My name is Harold Gardon. I'm the Millennial Wealth Planner. And welcome to the 51st episode of the Late Night Tambayan with TPG and MWP. So if hindi ka makatulog, no, dito ka na lang tumambay and we will discuss personal finance and life in general. So, partner?
Yes, happy first day of October. And ayan, so panibagong buwan, panibagong mga guests or mga topics yung inihanda namin para sa inyo. I'm Bille, Cristiane, founder and content creator of the Prudent generation. And ano nga ba yung sinaselebrate natin kapag first week of October, partner?
Ayan, pag first week of October at mamaya di-discuss din natin, no, it's Life Insurance Week and it's a legal presidential proclamation po 'yon. Hindi po 'yun parang gusto lang natin na sabihin Life Insurance Week pero kinikilala po ng ating government the importance of life insurance. Kaya dineclare po na ang first week of October ay Life Insurance Week. So, partner?
Yes. Siyempre, every session natin dito sa Late Night Tambayan, meron tayong pa-contest. And ngayon, kakaiba because our price is and bigger as compared to 50 pesos GCASH. So just share our live session from TPG and MWP Facebook pages. And mamaya po, before matapos yung show natin, we will have a question. And kung sino yung makakasagot or nag-share at makakasagot ng tama, ngayon, ang price po natin ay 250 pesos Grab voucher. Bale, dalawa ang pwedeng manalo. Ayan, partner.
Ayan, no? So, ito yung maganda sa late night tambayan. Makakapag-chill ka na, matututo ka pa, and you will win. You have the chance to win, no? For now, 250 pesos na Grab food, no? From YouTube ni MWP and Facebook page ni Mr. TPG na courtesy of our guest for tonight. So, kung kayo po ay nag-iisip paano ba gamitin tong TikTok, how to be one of the influencers in TikTok, or may friend kayo, ka-unit, or ka-team na gustong matuto ng TikTok, feel free to tag them para ma-share natin sa kanila, no, yung value na i-share ng ating guest speaker for tonight. So, partner?
Yes, excited na ako, partner, kasi isa din ako sa mga nakakita ng kanyang mga TikTok videos on my FYP. So, sa mga hindi po nakakaalam kung ano yung FYP, it's a For You page. Parang yun yung explore page dito or discover page sa Facebook or explore page on Instagram. So, ayan, partner.
Ayan, so papakilala ko na, partner, ang ating guest for tonight. Pag nakita nyo ho yung guest natin, kahit ako kanina nagulat, no? Kasi 20 years old lang po pala siya. Ayan, 20 years old lang siya. And since 16 years old, nandun na po siya, no, sa advertising career. So she had already started practicing, no, advertising when she was 16 years old. And now she just recently joined the financial services industry at the age of 20 years old. So ka-branch ko po to, no, sa Spark Amber. And apart from being a financial advisor under the Spark Amber branch, she's also a model who has featured in several digital advertisements, a host, a musician, dancer, writer, and student of De La Salle University, no. So political science po yung course niya, and she's planning also to take up law. So, future lawyer din po, no? Grabe pala, multi-talented to, partner. Baka mamaya pasayawin tayo kasi dancer pala siya, no? Tas TikToker. Ayan, so, without further ado, no? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Miss Antonnette Aquino. So, hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show. I mean, I'm such a huge fan because actually I've been watching your show ever since I got coded as an agent. So, alam ko you guys put out content and you put out live sessions 3 times a week. So, yeah, thank you guys for inviting me. And also, shout out din sa mga viewers ko, also from De La Salle University and my Barkada. They're also watching. Okay.
Ayan. So, thank you also, Tony, no, for accepting our invitation. At yun nga, excited na kami ni Bill. Excited na kami ni Bill sa ating discussion, no, for tonight. So, syempre, partner, ano ba yung tradition natin na i-invite natin si Tony?
Syempre dahil TikTok influencer or TikToker yung ating guest. Syempre, ayan, hindi bago tong mga pag-react natin for tonight. So, we will react on TikTok videos and yung first TikTok video natin, it's for good vibes. So wala tayong matutunan. We curate TikTok videos kung saan pwede tayo ma-motivate, ma-inspire, o kaya naman for good vibes. But before I share yung ating mga TikTok videos, shout out muna sa mga nanonood sa TPG page. So shout out kay RJ. Congratulations because he just became a unit manager today lang. Congratulations on your promotion. Yes. And nanonood din yung mga fans ni Tony. So, nandito yung kanyang mga ayan, si Martin Bon, tama ba?
Ayan.
Martin Rafael Bon, and si MJ Sakilayan. Ayan, mag-aabang daw
Ayan,
sila
sa'yo, Tony.
And Gabi Lacerna. Ayan. So, later, pwede ka rin mag-shoutout ng mga nanonood sa atin, Tony, if you have friends na nanonood sa atin ngayon. So, and share ko na yung ating mga TikTok videos. So, yung first TikTok video natin ay for good vibes. So, let's watch this first TikTok video.
Not again. No, not again. After that, it's my turn to sleep on the bed.
I guess we're going to watch.
Hey guys, you want to cuddle with mommy? Waiting for this. You
Yeah, ano masabi yung listeners na first TikTok video natin at Tony?
Ayan, sino bang gusto mauna? Ako muna o gusto mo mauna, Tony?
Okay, actually, I'm a cat person myself. So, I recently got a Scottish Fold. So, mahilig din ako matulog sa cat. Alam ko kasi pag cats, they're clingy and then they usually take most of the space on your bed.
Mm-hmm.
So, relate din ako sa video na yan.
Ayan.
Are you also a pet person yourself, Harold?
Ayan. So for me naman, no, may dog kami ni Sweetness, and tuwing nandun kami sa kanila, katabi namin siya natutulog. Ako naman yung baligtad, ako yung pinapaalis sa kama. So papasok yung dog sa gitna, tapos nandun na ako sa gilid. So yan. So sa mga balak na magkaroon ng dogs or ng cats, no, na hindi pa kasal, yun, kasama yun sa part of marriage, no? Pag nagpakasal kayo, doon ka sa gilid, tapos yung dog sa gitna. So yun yung sa akin, no? So partner?
Okay.
Yes. Ako naman dito walang pet sa lugar ko ngayon, but and I love watching mga ganyang videos, especially on TikTok. Ang dami kong parang nasa cat TikTok ako. Marami akong mga nakapanood na ganyan sa FYP ko. And yun, nakaka-enjoy, nakaka-good vibes, nakaka-relieve din siya ng stress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, itong second TikTok naman natin ay, TikTok video ay syempre from our guest, Tony. So, let's watch this TikTok video.
Let's talk about the scarcity mindset. If you grew up in a lower to middle income class family, you were most likely taught not to spend and save as much as possible in fear of losing all that wealth. You hoard all your money in a savings account. You were not taught how to invest and grow that money so that you can build your wealth. Let's change that scarcity mindset and learn how to invest so that we can be one step closer to financial freedom. Like and follow Money Health Check for more tips and strategies.
Grabe, parang nahiya ulit ako dun eh. Kasi that was actually one of the first few TikToks that I posted. So I was still experimenting. Parang nag-effort pa ako, like, may setup ako ng DLSR, tapos parang may lighting, gano'n. Nag-edit pa ako sa Adobe Premiere Pro. So parang nung time na yon, I only had about 50 views. And but then, you know, I received a lot of comments also from people, and relate din sila dun because as someone who used to have a scarcity mindset, it was only until I learned more about, you know, the benefits of financial literacy did I start changing it and shifting my mindset to become more abundant and, you know, to focus on growing your money instead of just what 90% of the Filipinos do, which is hoard their money in a savings account.
Ayan. So, thank you, Tony, no? Ang galing, partner, kasi etong scarcity mindset, nakakatuwa. Dahil si Tony nga, Gen Z, no? 20 years old. Tapos tayo, nasa 30s na. Welcome to the club ako, no? 30 na. Natutunan ko kasi itong parang abundance mindset, kung di ako nagkakamali, mga 23 o 24 years old. O 22, mga 22, 24. Pero nakakatuwa kasi because of TikTok, the Gen Z, kumbaga meron silang they are way ahead in terms of sharing these kinds of learnings of these concepts, no. So yun yung maganda, and thank you, Tony, no, for being an advocate of financial literacy and for spreading that concept of having an abundance mindset. So ayan, yun yung sa akin. Yung partner.
Yes, ang galing kasi dun sa following ni Tony, nung pinagawa ko siya with my graphic artist, para nasa pa lang, ganitong followers. Tapos, yung second na pinagawa ko, ganitong followers. Tapos ngayon, ang bilis mag-grow ng followers, ng dami ng followers niya, no? Tsaka, ayan, marami po sa TikTok na kahit student pa lang, nagtuturo na din sila ng mga financial literacy. So, hindi lang po talaga puro comedy, sayaw, o kaya mga parody or dub yung pwede natin mapanood on TikTok. But, ayun nga, katulad ng video nung napanood natin mula kay Tony. So, marami tayong matutunan mula sa TikTok. Ayan. So, ngayon naman, magbibigay ng update si partner. Ayan, partner.
Ayan, bigay lang ako ng update. So, yun nga, no, habang niload ko to, grabe yung, pagdami nung followers si Tony, no? Parang in 1 week, from 13,000 partner, naging 16,000. So, feeling ko by next week, nasa 20,000 na to. Ang galing. Ayan. So, ito nga pala, no, yung sinasabi ni partner kanina, dahil tayo law student, ay chinek na rin natin kung ano abang proclamation number yon. So, proclamation number 1059, series of 1997. So, noong 1997, during the presidency of Fidel V. Ramos, dineclare ang first week of October as Life Insurance Consciousness Week. So bakit po? Kasi dito, no, nakita ng government natin yung need ng life insurance, and normally kasi before, iniisip natin ang life insurance para lang siya sa mayayaman, pero because of the insuraves and because of the products that we have now, actually kahit 200 pesos lang po per year, you can have a personal accident insurance. And yung reason po dito, because of insurance, this will make sure yung next generation po, hindi magiging mahirap. 'Di ba? Parang ang point dito, for example, nandun ka sa lower middle class or middle class, because of life insurance, you can make sure na hindi sila bababa dun sa lower class, or because of a life insurance, they can go to an upper or another tier in the socio-economic class. Kasi for example, nawala yung breadwinner, no, and may makuha siyang 10 million, and because of that 10 million, makapag-start sila ng business. Imbis na mangutang sila kasi nawala yung breadwinner, they can start a business and, di ba, pursue their dreams. So yan po, ang first week of October ay Life Insurance Consciousness Week. So bigay lang po ako ng update din sa PSEI, at hindi ko pala ito na set up. So wait lang po, hintayin ko lang na mag-load yung chart. Maganda po ang PSEI ngayon sa mga nag-i-invest sa stock market dahil umakyat na po ng 5.9, no. So sayang yung mga naghihintay nung kung magfa 5.8, 5.7, pero tong araw na to, no, it's 80.64% points ang tinaas niya. So 5.9, pero still nandun pa rin siya sa level ng 6,000 to 5.7 area. Hindi natin alam kung masaya lang ba yung mga tao dahil tapos na yung third quarter, and this is the start of the fourth quarter, and dahil nga kumbaga sa China ang tawag ata ngayon Mid-Autumn Festival, no. So may factor din siguro yon, and parang yung Mid-Autumn Festival kasi it's a celebration of the harvest. So parang baka people are more, di ba, mas positive na okay, we're going up. Pero again, sinasabi naman natin palagi, no, we're looking at the recovery of the PSEI in the next 3 to 5 years. Kasi talagang bumagsak tayo from 2018 na sa mga 9,000, 8,900, no? Bumagsak to now 5.9. So malaki pa po yung opportunity to grow. So if you have any questions about the market, nandito lang po kaming tatlo, you can message us. Check lang din po natin yung isa sa mga one of the hype stocks, no, ang Dito. So ang Dito, grabe pala kanina, no, nag 5.94 ang high, and nag-close siya ng 5.30. So tingnan natin, sustainable ba to, o baka this can be a sign, this is a reversal candle, no. Might be a reversal candle kasi pataas siya tapos ang haba nung shadow. Tignan natin kung ano yung mangyayari bukas, baka biglang bumaba. So tignan natin, mukhang pwede bumili just in case mag-dip. And siguro by Sunday discuss natin yung Converge, no, kasi mag-IPO ang Converge. So magre-research lang muna ng konti si MWP and tignan natin ano yung ma-share natin about the initial public offering of Converge. So yun lang yung update sa akin, and partner, we can go back to Tony na. Yan.
Yeah, so ayan, marami na excited marinig yung story or kwento ni Tony. So ayan, Tony, ano ba yung kwento mo on how you became a financial consultant? So doon muna tayo before sa TikTok. Ayan.
Yes. Tony, nakamute ka ata. Ayan.
Ayan, okay na?
Yes.
Okay na yan. Okay, all right. So as Harold mentioned earlier, I started working when I was 16 years old at that time. So I was also in sales. And before I became a financial consultant, I was a sales consultant for Cartier. So I was actually selling millions worth of jewelry to high net worth clients. And I was 16 at that time. So naalala ko I had to falsify a few government documents just so that I could apply for that job. Kasi bawal yung minor, di ba? So I had to do that just so that I could work. And you know, the reason why I wanted to apply for that job was not so much because of the income, but just so that I could actually practice or master the art of selling. You know, because back then I was already, you know, listening to a lot of sales gurus. I was reading a lot of books on business, entrepreneurship, and you know, your knowledge could only do so much, right? For you to develop that skill, you have to put it into practice. So I applied for that job and I worked for about half a year. And you know, as I was just working, you know, at the shop, I had a regular client, you know, and he approached me and he was like, Tony, parang may itsura ka. Diba? Like, would you want to join our advertising agency and do a VTR? Right? And back then, you know, I was still very introverted. Parang hindi pa ako sanay sa camera. But, you know, I thought I should give it a go, right? Because there really is nothing to lose. If you don't get accepted in a project, then you don't, right? But at least you tried. So I did a VTR, and I would say that was probably one of the best decisions I made because after I landed one project with a beauty brand, then I was also able to land projects for other kinds of digital advertisements. So you know, it was coming one after the other, and then you know, they also found out that I could talk. So what they did was they also included me in one of their infomercials. So I was representing different brands from beauty to digital to um, also a lifestyle platform. Because right now, I am also a chief correspondent of a media and lifestyle news company. So I'm also a writer there, and we also, just like you guys, you host weekly live sessions featuring guests, financial influencers. But for us, we actually invite people who are humble hustlers or those who are looking to get into the arts industry. So we also feature a few artists, a few writers, and people in the fashion industry. So, you know, because of that, I've tried many different kinds of rackets. And I would say my first job as a sales consultant really helped me in my career right now as a financial advisor because I started so young. You know, I was able to develop the skill of socializing with high net worth clients. So I knew how to speak with them. I knew how to build and maintain my relationships with them at such a young age. I mean, I had, you know, clients who were CEOs, also celebrities, you know, from both ABS-CBN and GMA. And, you know, regularly they would come and buy jewelries for their wife or alam mo na. So, um,
Parang ang dami mo na share na sana in the future this won't incriminate you. Na sige, sige. Okay, okay.
Ayaw mo siya, diba? I mean, I'm just trying to be as transparent, diba? Mas okay din.
Oo.
So, ayun, hindi ko na sasabihin yung mga pangalan. Pero, ayun, anyway. So, because I was able to develop, you know, relationships with all these different types of clients, you know, 4 years after, I still keep in touch with them today. So, I have friends with them on Facebook, and, you know, they're also part of my prospect list. As a financial advisor, syempre, you know, you would want to approach them also and help them out. So, you know, I really am glad that I took the risk to try a lot of jobs from different industries as well. because I was able to generate enough income to pay for my own tuition fee in high school and also in college right now. So back then, kasi, I would admit, I was really bad with money before I became good at it. So when I started earning income from different rackets, I didn't know how to manage it. I didn't know how to budget. You know, I was actually falling prey to lifestyle inflation, right? So are you guys right? So like
Yes,
every
yes.
time my income would increase, my expenses would increase. And that's why even though I was earning this much in a year, I only saved about what, 2% of it, 5% of it. So, I was really, I had that scarcity mindset as well. I had no idea about investing because I grew up in an environment um, with spenders. So yung parents ko kasi, my family, we used to be in the upper middle class family. But when my parents were separated, that's where we lost it all. So we actually became broke, and it was really bad to the point that we were evicted because we couldn't afford to pay the rent anymore. So it
Okay.
got really bad, and because my mom was very used to living the lifestyle of spending a lot, of buying, luxurious things, LV bags and all that. When we lost it all, she still had that exact mindset. So every time there was money that would come in, it would just be gone in a second. And because of that, I had this money blueprint that okay, if I earn money, then it's okay for me to do this as well, because I had family figures who were really bad with money. So I decided to learn more about it, and I actually met BM Joanne. She was my financial advisor, and she also recruited me to join the financial services industry. And it was when I met her that she started recommending finance books for me to read, because actually the only reason why I was able to set up a meeting with her was when my aunt passed away. So when she passed away, because I was the breadwinner of the family, I had to shoulder most of the expenses, and it reached, I think, more than 1 million. With a lot, with the medical expenses, because she died of a heart attack. So it was really sudden, and I really felt the struggle, the financial struggle of not being prepared. And that's why one of my friends who had an insurance policy encouraged me. While you're still young, I think it's best for you to get an insurance policy yourself, because you have dependents, you're earning your own income, and you don't want your family to go through the same things that you did. So that's what pushed me to actually get a life insurance policy at 18 years old. So I believe BM also told me, BM Joanne, she told me that I was her youngest client back then. So, ever since, she's been contacting me to join the financial services industry. And not only until the pandemic did I actually, I just went for it, right? Because it's not only another source of income, but at the same time, you get to help liberate more Filipinos to, be more financially free and to also enjoy their wealth along the way, just like what Harold also preaches in his vision, diba?
Ayan, grabe. Parang partner, na shock ako dun sa story ah. Una lang ah. Sinabi niya, well, synthesize ko ng konti, no. Yung sinabi niya, natuto lang daw siya maging good with money nung before, kasi bad yung money habits niya, no. Pero
Yes.
sinasabi to ni Tony at the age of 16 at ngayon 20 years old siya. 'Di ba? Tayo na millennial, normally sinasabi natin to kasi Gen Z na po, no? Gen Z na si Tony. Kami ng mga millennial, sinasabi namin, alam mo, nag-start kami mag-work 20, sabi natin 21. Natuto kami magkaroon ng money habits ng 28, 29, minsan nga 30. Hindi pa ganun kagaling sa money habits, no? Pero si Tony, age 16 to 20, alam na niya kung paano i-value yung money. Siguro two things lang din or 2 points. May sinabi siya, no, the money blueprint, and ito yung kay T. Harv Eker, if I'm not mistaken, no? The
Yes.
Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And as a part-time college instructor din ako, I ask my students to read this and to report this. Kasi I believe, no, the next generation should know about financial literacy. And yung pangalawa, yung sinasabi ni Tony, no, pag meron siyang gustong matutunan, ina-apply niya. 'Di ba? Ang tawag naman doon ni Napoleon Hill sa Think and Grow Rich is specialized knowledge. Because knowledge without action is nothing, no? Knowledge is not power if it's only potential. Kailangan ina-act natin. So, sa mga Gen Z dyan, no? Sa mga Gen Z, if you think or if you want to learn about personal finance, you can always be a financial advisor, no? You can join Tony, you can go with Mr. TPG or sa akin, and we can help you in your journey towards financial freedom nga. So yun, ang lupit partner, grabe, no? 4 years na nagtatrabaho, 16, 20 years old, pero kung mag-isip si Tony, akala mo, di ba, parang 30 na,
Very
no?
mature.
30 yung
Yes.
mindset, ang galing. And thank you also, no, for sharing your very personal story about your family and kung paano mo, na-overcome, kasi hindi naman yun ganun kadali, di ba? Because of what happened. Pero it's a blessing in disguise. So, partner?
Yes, thank you Tony for sharing your stories. Sabi nga dito ni MJ, sabi niya dito, nahanap ko yung comment ito. Iiyak na yan.
Si MJ ba ay classmate mo sa Lasal?
Yes, actually, naging blockmate ko siya nung first year. So right now, schoolmate na kami. But we still, we're an entire group, and I think yung iba din nanonood. Hi,
nice.
Hi,
Hi,
MJ. Thank you so much for your comment.
Yan, sabi din ni Gabi Lacerna, you're such an inspiration. And ni Lorena Vasquez, thumbs up. And sabi naman ni Ma'am Cristina Navela, so Mami Pru, yan ang galing. May binagpa siya kanina na about October. So hello October, best, hoping for the best.
Yes.
Ayan. So partner?
Ayan. So, down na share naman no ni Tony yung kanyang story. Actually, shinare niya yung story niya no from 16 years old and into becoming a financial advisor, which is very good, no? Thank you for sharing kasi hopefully this will inspire more Zenials, no, to take action and to take that risk. Na especially sabi mo nga introvert ka before pero ngayon, 'di ba? Ang galing mo sa camera, 'di ba? Parang parang wala lang, 'di ba? Ganun lang. Okay. So, ngayon naman, why TikTok? Bakit TikTok yung nakita mong platform in spreading financial literacy, or paano ka na fell in love with TikTok? Yun.
Fell in love. Okay. So, just like any love story, at first, there's always that hesitation. And there's always that risk. No one wants to get into a relationship knowing that it will eventually fail. So I had that kind of mindset before I got in. So I've been meaning to actually open a TikTok account and post content. But what stopped me was, I guess I would say other people's opinion. Because, okay, let's face it, back then, when we would hear of TikTok, we would think of people dancing, renegade, or WAP, yung mga ganun, diba? Yung mga it really hurts, diba? So if you say, okay, I'm a content creator from TikTok, you the first thing that comes to your mind is, okay, she dances, right? But over the course of the pandemic or 2020, it actually shifted into a platform where content creators can now post educational content. So we see a lot of medical professionals on the app. We see a lot of lawyers giving tips. We see a lot of business entrepreneurs giving tips about how to open up a business. So, it would actually depend on what shows up in your For You page. So, kaya natutuwa ako kay TikTok because the videos that appear on your For You page would depend on the type of content that you consume. So it would depend on the type of TikTok videos that you like, that you comment on. So because I love learning about finance, about business, those are usually the type of videos that appear in my feed. And because of that, I didn't really see a lot of people, a lot of financial influencers posting, content about personal finance or about investing. So I thought, okay, why not, start it, right? And, I went into the app thinking that, how could I provide value to the audience, right? Because back then, what made me hesitate to join was because of other people's opinion. And actually, back then, hindi ko pa sinishare yung TikTok account ko. And, nakakatuwa because, other people found out about my account because other people would share it. So
Mhm.
my followers, my viewers would share it, but I wouldn't share my own content because I had that fear holding me back. So right, okay. So why did I choose TikTok to be exact? Well, from what I know, there were statistics released that there are almost over 800 active users on the app already, right?
Mhm.
And the thing about it is that you can actually, it's a great platform for online sharing because if you guys are familiar with Nas Daily, one of the reasons why his videos went viral was because he was able to fit all different kinds of information into 50 to 60 seconds, right? And that's what made his videos viral because he was able to teach people a lot of things and squeeze all of that information into a very, very short video. And that's essentially what TikTok is. And I wanted to create content that would help Gen Zs or millennials learn about personal finance or about investing, without having to go through all the technicals first. Because the reason why a lot of people wouldn't get into investing is because they're intimidated with all the numbers, with all the technicals of it. So I wanted to be able to produce content that would be easier for them to understand from the beginning and maybe push them to learn more about it. So okay, and another reason why I wanted to pick TikTok was because you can actually see your analytics and you can easily learn a lot about your audience. And most of the things that I'm saying actually, I got it from a podcast called Growth Mindset University, and they were actually talking about building your social media presence. And one of the tips that stuck to my mind was that when they said that if you want to build your social media presence, you need to follow a SMART goal framework. So your SMART goal framework, your content should be specific, right? That means you have to pick a social channel and then you have to learn how to build engagement in that specific social channel before start opening different types of accounts from different platforms. And then second, it has to be measurable, right? So as I've mentioned, you get to see your analytics, you get to see what content works with the audience and what doesn't. And then third, it has to be achievable also. So because you can create 15 to 60-second videos, it's very doable. It's easy for me to post content, if for example, okay, maybe this is a good idea to share to the viewers, then I would just open my camera and then record. And they also have an editing feature, which is also very convenient to use. So the advantage of using TikTok is that if you know how to post stories on Instagram, if you know how to post stories on Facebook, then you can also edit on TikTok. That's how easy and convenient it is for content creators. And then, lastly, so R na tayo, diba? So it has to be relevant. So the thing with TikTok is that that's where most of the trends are coming from now. So you have to think about how you can stay relevant. And what a lot of content creators do is that they use trending songs as their backgrounds. And that's essentially what helped me boost my engagement because what I would do is when I would post content, I would, look at the top 20 trending songs on TikTok. And then I would use that as my background music. And sometimes I would even tune it down to zero. Like, hindi mo naririnig yung audio. But what helps is if you use it as your background, then it will actually boost the chances of your video appearing on people's FYP. So, ganun yung mga methods na ginagawa ng iba to boost engagement. And then also, we live at a time right now where everything is very fast paced, right? Not everyone has the attention span to sit down and then listen to someone talking about money for 2 hours, right? So that's what's good about TikTok is that you can really learn a lot and you can really digest a lot of information within a short period of time. And then lastly, sana tayo T. Okay, so first it has to be time bound also. So what helps me in creating content is that I actually use a social media calendar. So I use a project management tool wherein I decide, okay, for this week, these are the type of videos that I would post. And what you want is dati kasi when I would make content on TikTok, like whatever that comes with mind would just show up on my TikTok page, right? But what I did was every time I would see a comment from a viewer suggesting me to do this type of topic to talk about, whether it's about banks or about investing, about the different types of asset classes, then I would list that down in my project management tool, and then I would post content that would answer their queries. So that day I used to think, okay, it's my social channel, so I post what I want to post. So if it's about insurance, then I'll post that. Pero dapat daw, your strategy should be different. You should go after where the people are going, because you want to be able to provide content that the people want to see. It shouldn't always just be about you and what you want to put out there. So I always make sure that if I look at the comment section, I really read every single comment. Kahit 400 comments pa yan. And as much as possible, I try to reply. I'll be like, okay, I'll make this video. Parang what you want is to provide high quality customer service. And you can do that by responding to every comment that appears in your For You page. Kasi diba usually yung ginagawa ng iba pag medyo madami na yung mga followers nila, when there's a comment, they don't really mind it anymore, right? So what you do is you want to be able to respond to every single comment, whether it's an emoji or just a heartfelt response, so that you can actually potentially convert your viewers into hot leads, right? Because there's that engagement going on between you and your audience. So those are the things, or those are the goals that I keep in mind when it comes to creating content on TikTok specifically. But I suppose it could apply to other social platforms as well.
Ayan. Grabe partner. I think you, Tony, no, the way you've explained TikTok, not only very logical and very scientific. In a way, why go with TikTok? Kinompute mo yung may analysis siya, tapos with the number of subscribers, and I think tama kasi the next generation, before kasi nung siguro mga 5 years ago, ang uso blogging, yung magsusulat ka, tapos gagawa ka ng website, pagalingan magsulat, and then papanoorin, babasahin. Pero ngayon wala na nagbabasa. Parang yung Gen Z, tama, they want videos. And yung mga kids ngayon, yung mga pamangkin namin, ayaw na rin nilang, mas gusto nila videos. And pag yung video, minsan 3 minutes, 4 minutes, ni-next na nila. So, ang ganda ng sinabi mo na parang sa TikTok, 15 seconds to 50 to 1 minute, to 50 seconds content. You can create information na very valuable, concise, and applicable. And totoo rin, partner, ewan ko, pero parang naramdaman natin to parehas na yung before, pag sa TikTok may negative connotation, parang, uy, ba't ka nagti-TikTok? Di ba? Financial advisor ka. Bakit ka nagti-TikTok? Pero nakita natin ngayon naman, sila na nagsasabi, mag-TikTok daw tayo. Di ba? Parang, tama, you just need to follow your heart and mafe-feel mo yun. Ba't parang cute yung Harold? Sorry, ano ba yun? Hindi ko alam. Okay, sige. Ayan, sige. Hindi ko na-gets. Pero yun, go partner, ano yung pinagdaanan natin din, para sabi, huwag ka mag-TikTok. Pero now, nakikita natin, tama yung sinabi ni Tony, na yung strategy, ikaw yung mag-a-adapt sa market, hindi yung ikaw yung magsasabi, oy, sundan nyo ako. Kasi iba na rin, Before, parang may influencer, oy, sundan nyo ako. Pero now, makikita natin yung mga influencer, yun din yung ginagawa nila. Ano ba yung gusto ng market? And I'll give what the market needs, Ayan, partner.
Yes, tama yung mga sinabi ninyo, partner tsaka Tony. Kasi matagal na ako with TikTok, mga more than a year na. And before talaga, ayaw nila yung mga ganitong content, para mga educational content, and puro yun nga, papa-cute, puro mga dancing, comedy, parody. Pero ngayon, binago talaga din yung TikTok to yung trend, promote niya yung mga educational videos. And ngayon, actually pwede na yung 3-minute video sa TikTok kung more than 100 followers or yung following more than 100,000, mga ganun. And ayan, ang galing.
May 3 minutes na yung length? Parang, do people actually post until 3 minutes or wala pa masyadong creative?
Meron na. Pero ang karamihan mga nakikita ko mga movie clip, sa TikTok pa pwede ka na makatapos na isang movie kasi puro may marami din nagpo-post ng mga movie clips ng part. Yes.
Okay. But I'm curious for you guys, since you also started, for Harold, I guess. I think you started TikTok just this month or last month. Kailan ka ba nag-start? I mean, actively.
For me, hindi, nag-start ako ng TikTok during the pandemic kasi nung nag-TikTok ako, parang nalulungkot ako. Hindi halata, pero medyo anxious ako pag, alam mo yung may anxiety ka, anong mangyayari. And then nakita ko yung TikTok na, uy, nakakatuwa. So, sabi ko, sige, magkikengkoy na lang ako, malaking tao, minsan sasayaw, o alam mo yun, parang, para kahit pa paano yung fellow millennials, no, masabi natin, uy, okay lang yan, be happy, don't let the pandemic na crush your spirit. So, parang keep fighting for your dreams. Pero, hindi ko pa talaga siya masyadong naayos yung content. Nakakatawa nga ngayon, no? Pag nakita mo yung content ko, mga pamangkin ko, nagulat ako last time. Parang hiniram nila yung iPad. Tapos mamaya makikita mo, yung TikTok ko, puro sila yung sumasayaw. Pero I'm planning, no? I'm planning to do that social media, parang may calendar ka, using TikTok, tas ano ba yung ipopost ko. May question pala ako doon, anong app yung ginagamit mo in managing that, yung parang project management mo, tool mo?
I personally use Trello because yun yung pinaka-simple na project management tool for posting content. It's like, you can actually, I arranged it into different cards. So the first one is ideas. And then the second one is, research. So once you provide research to that specific content, I move that card to under research. And then after research, I think, publish na. Ay, hindi, tama ba? Ay, hindi pala. After research, it's video. So you have to record that content with the research na, and you plan it out. And then after video, that's when you publish it. So parang may flow siya because, I can't do everything. I can't do the entire process within the entire day. So sometimes, for example, if I see someone say, okay, can you make a video about mutual funds, right? So I'd list that idea down under that card, and then I do some research about it. And then I leave it there. And then, after that, after you compiled many different topics for you to post, then that's when you decide, okay, for the first 5 days in this week, it would be about investing. And then 2 days of the week, it can be about insurance, about your brand. So that's also a tip that I keep in mind. You want to think like a media company, right? You want to be able to create content that, that will either entertain or will educate your audience. And a lot of business owners or a lot of content creators make the mistake of being overly promotional. So rule of thumb, sabi nga nila, 80% should just be about education and about, just giving out information to the viewers. And then 20% can be, content that directly promotes your brand. So that I used to think, okay, maybe if I talk about insurance, yung mga ganon, then maybe, you could potentially get clients, but apparently that's not how it works. There's a whole process to follow, and not all of your followers can be your customers, right? And not all of your viewers can be converted into hot leads that easily. So it takes a lot of engagement, and you have to build that trust with your audience also. And according to Eric Fung, he said, so first you have to make the initial contact, which is putting your content out there. And then after making your initial contact, you want to build trust with your audience. So when you build your trust with your audience, then you could be it could lead to authority. Meaning, if you put out content, people can directly contact you or message you about these things. Like they will personally DM you asking questions. And then after that, then you could, give out your sales script, right? You can say, okay, you can set appointments with them, do some financial planning sessions, yung mga ganon. So there's a whole process that I follow when it comes to that. And, that's why exactly I try to attract audience who are interested muna in saving their money, in handling their money, because that's what comes first before protecting and investing it, right? So I try to gather that audience, and then I easily, slowly put out content there using my project management tool that focuses on wealth protection, yung mga ganon, and then investment also. Ganun siya.
Galing. Ang galing ng process, no? Sorry, tama ba Trello?
Trello.
Yung project
Trello.
management.
Trello. Tapos may template na siya actually. You can choose yung content creator template. So that's what I follow. Parang naka-organized na siya.
Ayan.
Ayan, ang galing, no? So, sa ating mga viewers, no, you can check this app, yung Trello. And dito makikita natin, no, and I believe,
Trello, like T, as in toy.
T partner,
T.
Trello.
Sorry.
Trello. Ayan, 3. Ayan, Trello. Ayan, sorry. What, tumatanda na tayo, partner? Ano ba yan? Ayan, it's
Ito.
Trello. So, dito, no, makikita natin na siguro ako kasi medyo pa ako hindi pa ako ganun ka-systematic dahil siguro person na generalist, kaya pag nakita mo si MWP, parang ang dami niyang ginagawa. Pero I believe si Bill, si partner, no, si Mr. TPG, systematic to. Pag nagpo-post, pag nakita nyo naman, di ba yung format niya, it's the same, yung may mood board siya, no, na parang yun, halos pare-parehas compared to me na medyo paiba-iba. Pero ang important dito, we can see that there's a system, no, sa mga viewers natin when you want to be an influencer or anything, no, there should be a system. Ako siguro yung system ko medyo rudimentary, in a sense na meron din akong ganun, social media calendar, pero kadalasan mahilig ako magsulat, so minsan sa papel, tapos papalit-palit siya, papalit-palit. So ayun, no, ang ganda nung sinabi niya, no, about establishing that contact and then building that trust and being the authority in that particular field or social media or industry that you want to be in. And at the same time, no, parang dito makikita natin yung market segmentation na ginagawa ni Tony, no. Ito yung followers niya, tas sino nga ba dito, pwede ko siyang i-segment pa. Focus ako, insurance ba, mutual funds, or kung ano man yung mga kailangan nila. So ang galing ng application, Tony. Ayan, so partner?
Yes, ang ganda ng mga sinabi ni Tony because nung nagsisimula din ako ng TPG, doon ako nagkamali. I always post about insurance. Hindi rin ako nakakakuha ng mga followers or mga talagang non-financial consultant. And yun, I hope maraming nanonood sa atin ngayon na financial consultants din because what Tony are telling is pwede rin siya may apply on other social media platforms, not only on TikTok, but on Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms. Ayan, partner?
Okay, and also, just to add to that, the thing is, another tip that I could give is that, what's actually going to get you views is if you respond to people's questions. So another thing that could help is if you put out content that would make people ask for more. Parang you give them a tease. You don't give them everything. So when they ask in the comment section, there's actually a feature wherein you can make a video responding to their comments. And then if that happens, that was actually what boosted my views. Kasi yung dati parang 100 to 200 views na. And then when I made a video responding to someone else's question about pag-ibig, diba? Pag-ibig lang yan. And I was talking about the difference between good debt and bad debt. So I responded to that question and that got me 50,000 views. So because of that video, I got 3,000 followers. And then I just kept doing that. I would post content, yung mga 50-second videos of me just pointing, yung mga tips, that's very easy to do. And then after that, I would post another video responding to someone else's question so that, people would realize, na okay, so she responds to people pala. So what if, I put in a question, then maybe she would also help me out. Parang ganun yung process.
Yes. Ang galing. Partner?
Yes, maganda yun yung nagra-reply with the questions dun sa mga parang videos. Parang, di ba si Miss Nina of Colorette, nagra-reply din siya sa mga questions. And yun nga, isa sa nagtanong din sa kanya is about insurance. So, ang gandang feature ng TikTok. Yeah, partner?
Ayan, so siguro Tony, yung isa ko naman tanong, kasi syempre, na kami, old na kami mga millennial. Yung iba na. Kasi di ba pag sinabi, parang may napanood akong video, no, sa TikTok, parang sabi namin mga millennial, uy, Gen X, you're old. Tapos dumating yung Zennial, kami daw yung old. Ano yung mga Gen X? They are Jurassic na raw, no? Nakakatawa. Pero siguro sa amin, no, sa aming mga millennial na hindi pa ganun, yung gusto na mag-start mag-TikTok or sa mga Gen X din na gusto mag-start mag-TikTok, can you share parang ano ba yung typical, gaano ba siya kadali or typical way of doing it? Parang everyday ba you do 3 videos, 1 video, or paano na magsisimula? Parang siguro tip na ganun lang, parang how do I start it, how do I start editing, or yan, kung ano man yung masishare mo. Yan.
Okay. Well, in my case, even up to now, I'm still experimenting what works or what gets people's attention. Like sometimes if you've noticed some of my videos, I'm behind the camera. So I'm using Canva to illustrate certain financial concepts. And then other times I'm in front of the camera and I'm talking about it. And then sometimes I think, okay, do people prefer me just pointing, or do people prefer me talking in front of the camera na walang music, yung walang distractions and all that? And then I realized that people actually just personally engage with videos that are more true to your own personal brand. So in my case, because I like to communicate with people, I like to respond to comments and then help them out in any way that I can, then that's what actually attracts people to watch more of your content and to also comment on your videos. So I would say it's okay to model after other content creators. Kasi minsan may nakita ko, the, sige, I won't name drop na lang, but there are other FAs that posted the same exact content as I did. Pero sila lang yung nagsalita. Pero the script, yung illustration din, very, very exact. And I have no problem with that naman. But I would say, what really would attract more views is your authenticity. So you have to understand your personal DNA. You need to know your own personal brand and stay true to it, right? Because, instead of talking about how, let's say, for example, so many people are worried about the views or how many comments you'd get. Instead of focusing on the numbers, you need to focus on how much value that piece of content will bring to your audience. So you need to get the viewers excited about something. Be compelled to check your Facebook page or to watch a video. It comes down to caring about your audience attention. Right? That's really how you win the game. You need to get your viewers excited to consume your content. So it's very different. Like, for example, when I had mga 1,000 followers lang. Okay, so just to put it simply, okay, let's say person A has 20,000 followers. And then person B has only 10,000 followers, right? So person B actually, for example, he decides to put out content right there, maybe sell a book, right, to his audience. So let's say half of his audience decides to buy his book. But for person A with more followers, only he had little sales. Only little people bought his book. And, that's exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to conversion. You want to be able to influence your audience to actually take action. It's not enough to just look at the numbers, to look at the followers you have, but more on the conversion, because that would mean that your content is actually valuable to a lot of viewers. So even back then when I had, mga 500 followers to 1,000 followers, I actually had a lot of engagement. Parang I had more than 500 comments, and then I also received more than 50 DMs from different kinds of people every day. So that's how you work in a social platform like TikTok, and I guess it would also apply to Facebook then. But I think Bill would also know more about posting the right content on Facebook. Is it also the same? Would you say na ganun din yung engagement? Like, are they more on illustrations, or is it more on live sessions? What helps financial advice? What can you give to beginners like me? Diba? I'm a rookie also when it comes to social media. So what can you help?
On Facebook, actually, they are also promoting more on videos na. Kaya nga yung iba nagre-repurpose na lang ng content from TikTok to Facebook or on Instagram. Parang kino-combine na lang yung mga TikTok videos, ginagawang 3-minute videos to Facebook and Instagram or IGTV. Okay,
So, ang galing. Yeah, ayan. Go, Tony.
Because I was gonna ask, medyo different for me, diba? I'm more on the fast-paced content. But for, let's say, the both of you in this show, this is almost an hour long. Diba? Usually, ganun yung time frame ng mga live sessions nyo. So, if, let's say, for example, I decide to also host my own podcast or live sessions, are there any other tips that you could give to someone like me when it comes to creating longer content or videos? Ganon.
And partner? Tayo yung na-interview bigla. So, ang galing ni Tony, ano? Partner, ikaw muna o ako?
Yes, sige. Yan. Ayun, more on videos na talaga kasi on Facebook, mas nire-recommend niya yung mga videos kahit hindi mga followers ng page. For example, with TPG, based from my insights or dun sa analytics ng page ko, mas marami nakaka-view ng mga videos ko na hindi followers or hindi sharers ng video. More on recommendations. Sa recommendations yun kasi, di ba yung, for example, on YouTube, after we watch a video, meron ka agad siya nire-recommend na video na pwede nating panoorin kahit hindi naman tayo nakasubscribe doon. So parang ganun din kay Facebook. Once na matapos natin yung isang video, meron ka agad siya i-recommend. At saka ayun, doon kasi kumikita si Facebook, 'di ba, on videos. Kaya ayun, mas inaano niya na talaga, pinapaangat or nire-recommend yung mga video content. That's why isa din sa reason we ginawa namin itong late night tambayan kasi ayun nga, mas gusto namin na mas ano pa yung pages namin, yung MWP and TPG. Ayan.
Ayan. Siguro yung sa akin naman, no, for long hour content, again, katulad nga sa mga viewers, no, sinabi nga ni Tony tsaka ni Mr. TPG, mas ano sila, mas organized. Sila chine-check ni analytics, no? Ako, on one side, parang kailan ko nga ba huling chinek yung analytics ko? Parang chinek ko lang siya pag magto-talk ako para lang mapakita ko na sa screenshot. Pero for me, the way I do things, no, basta nag-enjoy lang ako. Di ba parang tinanong mo kanina dun sa backstage, parang Harold, ang dami mong cases na binabasa, tapos syempre dami mong pang ginagawa, buti nagagawa mo pa yung late night tambayan. And for me kasi, ito yung parang relaxation ko. So I think, no, you just enjoy the process and you follow the principles that you've done before, knowing the market, segmenting, and parang adding value. Tapos, during dun sa time na yon, depende again dun sa brand mo. Parang ito kasi it's like a parang chill vibe na alam mo, go with the flow, di ba? Parang ganun yung concept, parang uy, mga millennial, di tayo masyadong seryoso dito, pero you will learn, chill lang siya. I'm not sure kung paano Gen Z, kasi syempre sa millennials parang nung sinegment ko siya, may article ako nabasa, meron yung talagang mga achievers, di ba? Meron yung mga working moms, meron naman yung sobrang chill lang. Meron yung mga millennials na ito yung YOLO na sinasabi ng mga Gen X na, uy, wag nyo gayahin yan. Pero ilang percent lang po yun yung mga YOLO kasi karamihan sa millennials, hardworking and dream chasers. And I think ganun din sa Gen Z, baka may kanya-kanyang segment din. So it's up to you what kind of brand or parang show you want to do. Is it a more serious type or is it a fun type na chill lang? So yun yung siguro masasabi ko. Pero at the end of the day, just enjoy the process. Parang for me, I never see late night tambayan as something na nakakapagod o yung daming gagawin. It's something na nag-enjoy lang, di ba? Parang relaxation from law school, from the hustle of life and everything. So, yun.
Siguro,
Hopefully, nakatulong yun. Ayan.
Meron akong isang ma-recommend kay Tony na siguradong papatok siya dito sa platform na to. So, try exploring din Kumu. So, it's a live streaming app. Pero hindi ko alam kung merong nag-ano na doon about finances. Pero, ayun, isa din to sa patok na for Gen Zs and other, yung Kumu for live streaming. At actually, dito pwede kumita.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll keep that in mind because actually what I'm trying to do right now is maybe potentially bring more of my viewers from TikTok to a certain channel, whether it's like a Telegram chat or a Facebook community group. So I'm still deciding what to do and then what type of content I would post for that social platform naman. So I'm not sure pa if it should be ganito yung mga live streams or more on just like educational content in print, parang ganun. So, yeah, thank you so much for your tips. I'll definitely apply that once I start making more content in other different social channels.
Yan. Siguro dagdag ko lang din, no, yung sinabi nga ni Mr. TPG, you can always repurpose it. So, for example, I'm not sure, no, baka yung Gen Z nga, when they watch YouTube, baka hindi rin nila gusto yung sobrang haba. So, for example, may makagawa ka na 3 to 5 minutes sa TikTok, tapos i-repurpose mo sa YouTube, and then check mo na rin sa Facebook, post mo na rin siya. And alam ko, sa YouTube, you can create your parang private community din. So, pag na-reach mo na yung a certain number of subscriber, parang they will pay you in order to be part of that community. So, you won't be earning from the advertisement, you will be earning from the membership. So meron kang public, tapos meron ka pang isang community. If parang yun na yung objective, no? So, I think then, Kumu, yung pinresent ni partner, shinare rin niya sa akin yun, it's something that we can take advantage, especially dun sa mga content creator, kasi bago lang siya. And, umuuso na to yung mga estudyante ko kasi, what they use is Laika. Not sure kung narinig nyo na yung Laika app.
Yes.
So, the Kumu is like a Laika kasi meron kang mga gems or meron kang mga coins na ibibigay dun sa mga nagla-live. So, tingin ko mukhang baka papatok, no? May potential to. So, maganda i-try lang, at least nandito na tayo, no? Na tayo na yung nauna. Kesa parang pag sumikat na tsaka tayo papasok. So, ayun, partner. Ayan, si Fitz Villafuerte daw. Sabi ni Janisa, no? Ayan, sorry. Nasa Kumu na. So, yan, naunahan na tayo. Pero yan, di ba? One of the financial gurus, no? Gen X ata to, si Sir Fitz. Fritz, yan. So,
Actually,
ayun.
nasa din siya, TikTok. Nabilis din mag-grow ng following niya. Kasi lumalabas din siya sa FYP ko.
Yes, si Chinkitan, 'di ba? Kung tutusin si Chinkitan 50 plus na 'yon o magsi-60 na ata si Chinkitan, pero
so,
biglang
100
magugulat ka na sa TikTok na rin siya, no? So, ayun. Yan.
I mean yung following ni Chinkitan na so 100,000 sa TikTok.
Talaga? Parang kaka-start lang 'yan, no?
Kaka-start so, lang din.
So parang tingin ko din yung social media ngayon, very thin line na yung pag-segment natin kasi yung mga tao nandun silang lahat. So kung ano yung pumapatok doon sa isang social media channel, siguro may tweak lang ng konti. Kasi Instagram pa rin, di ba? Pag Instagram photos pa rin naman. Pero may IGTV wherein you can just upload the videos there. Tapos tignan natin kung mag-viral ba siya, then maybe you can focus on IG o kung ano man. So, ayun, yun yung insight. So sana may natutunan kami, no, Tony, baka mamaya sabi niya, ano yung mga pinagsasabi ng mga millennials, ito alam ko na, no?
The way you talk, it's like you're acting as if the gap is so huge. Parang di naman, Gen Z ako, pero feeling ko I'm more in I fit with the millennials. Diba?
Oh. Millennial by heart, no? Millennial by heart.
Millennial by heart, oo.
Yan. Ayan. Siguro sa denial ako kasi natanggal na ako sa 20s . Hindi ko na pwede sabihin I'm 20, no? sabi naman ni partner, ano ba naman to si Harold? Ni-stress out yung 30. Ayan. So partner, ano ba ang ayan, tama po. May nag-comment, no? Laika, Lyka, tama po, no? Si Ma'am Von.
Si Miss Vani. Parang
Laika yan. Or, kasi I also have the Laika app. The one who recommended me to get the app was actually the one who developed the app itself, which is Brian Chong. So he's also one of my clients when I worked for Cartier. Yun din. So, actually, hindi ko nga alam kung parang Instagram ba siya, pero alam ko, you can also buy food, magana, parang may online shopping mo. But they also have that live stream feature. It's also developed. Are people getting it? Hindi pa masyado.
Hindi ako ganun ka-expert, no, dun sa Laika. Pero when I've tried it, parang during my time na nagsa-start ako ng YouTube channel ko, si Laika yung isa sa mga ginamit ko to ano ba, para dumami yung mga subscribers ko. So, meron dun kasi sa Laika, parang pag kinlik mo siya or hinart mo, kahit hindi mo naman gusto yung pick, you can get gems. And the gems you can use to buy in certain stores or get discount. So parang nangyayari nga dito. I'm not sure how they earn, pero parang ang concept dito, no, parang you can earn while using the social media platform. So maglalaro ako, o mag-check ako ng videos, ganyan. And then at the same time, kumikita ako. Kaysa naman sa Facebook, di ba? Parang sinasabi na, okay, nag-Facebook ako, kinukuha nila yung data ko, tapos hindi naman ako kumikita. So parang baka yun yung Laika, no? Parang that's why, that's how it goes, yan.
Kaya pala. What the developer explained to me is that when people like your videos, you receive 5 gems, and that 5 gems can be converted into pesos. So 1 peso siya per gem. So the more likes you get, then parang you can convert that gems into money din. So okay din, okay. Alright, parang we promoted that app also dito from TikTok to Laika to Kumu, ano ba talaga.
Ayun.
May nag-comment dito, partner, wala pa daw live stream on Laika.
Wala pang live stream. More on pictures ata, no? Pictures. And yung iba kasi parang ginagamit tong Laika. So for example, there's a Facebook group wherein pwede mo sabihin, okay, I'll give you 1 gem by subscribing, di ba? Subscribe to my channel or subscribe to my TikTok and I'll give you 1 Laika. So, 1 Laika gem. So, 1 Laika gem is 1 peso. So, kung titignan mo, kung yun yung target market mo, no, kung sila pala, yung nasa Laika, it's cheaper compared to paying Facebook. Di ba, na 5,000, tapos minsan yung reach mo, hindi pa naman nagsasubscribe. So, dito parang, okay, if I spend 500 Laika gems or 500 pesos, I get an instant 500 subscribers. So, pwede nyo tignan, no? Pwede nyo tignan nyo na ganun. So, that's one way of parang hacking the system. So, sana wag nila mapanood to. Baka sabihin nyo, bawal na yun. Pero, that's one way of hacking it. So, parang if you have money, you have 10,000 pesos and you want to have 10,000 subscribers sa TikTok mo, di spend 10,000 Laika gems and then magsasubscribe sila sa TikTok, di ba? Parang pwede mo siyang tignan na ganun. Kesa na, gumastos ka sa Facebook na minsan 10,000, wala pa rin nako-convert. Di ba? Wala pa rin nagla-like, wala pa rin nagpa-follow. And hopefully, the algorithm will, na-trick mo yung algorithm na parang ipadami ka niya kasi a lot of people are following you. So, yan.
Okay. Well, TikTok is still a new platform mo, ganun. Kanina, we were talking about the numbers don't matter. Focus on the value of the content. Tapos ngayon, very contradicting. Pero okay, I get your point because you know that the content that you're putting out is valuable naman talaga. What you need is the organic reach. So yeah, I get your point. You can use that method to tap into, let's say, the cold market in a platform like TikTok.
Yes. Ayan. So, ang dami nating learning at maraming salamat sa nagstay kahit nag-extend tayo ng konti. And nandun na po tayo. Tama ba, partner? Nandun na tayo sa session na magtatanong. Ayan, nandun na tayo sa session na magtatanong. So, you can win 2 na 250 peso na Grab food na voucher, courtesy of Miss Tony. So, maraming salamat, Tony, for sponsoring tonight's contest. And para po manalo, kung nanonood po kayo sa TPG page, kailangan nyo po i-share yung TPG and then comment lang po kayo. Kung nanonood naman po kayo sa YouTube, kailangan po sa YouTube ni Harold Q Gardon, the Millennial Wealth Planner. Wala po kayong gagawin. Kindly like lang po the live stream now and then comment lang. Okay, comment lang po kayo. So partner, ano nga ba ulit yung TikTok account ni Tony?
Yes, the TikTok account of Tony. Type lang natin, partner, sa banner.
Yes.
Akala ko yung question. Yun ba yung question?
Hindi.
Hindi.
Hindi pa.
Hindi, sabi lang namin para may review lang sila, Para may review sila. So guys, you need to follow, You need to follow Tony. Kung nag-enjoy kayo sa content ni Tony, that's Money Health Check. Yan po yung TikTok account niya. Sa iba pang platforms, Tony, you're using Money Health Check ba? Or more on, sa TikTok lang to?
More on sa
Money
TikTok. I'm active on TikTok, but I also have a Facebook page also called Money Health Check. So
yan. So you can also follow her sa kanyang Facebook page, Money Health Check. So this is good also, if you are a financial advisor and you are the Gen X or the upper millennial. So at least you can know kung ano ba yung ano yung pulse, Pulse, gamitin natin yung pulse up. Ano yung pulse ng Gen Z? Kasi 'di ba, that's important you follow different pages and then you get ideas din naman. So bigyan natin sila ng time to share and to share, partner. Meron ba tayong announcement? Yan.
Yes. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin na ating career preview. If you're accessible sa Ayala Avenue sa Makati, so pwede nyo ako i-message or kung accessible kayo kay Tony or kay partner sa Green Hills or Fairview, you may message si Tony at saka si Harold. So our career preview is on Saturday, 7 p.m. So online pa rin po ito. And on Sunday, our guest is Albee Tesoro-Bagamaspad, MDRT. So ito naman, let's learn syempre about the business of financial consultancy. So she's a flight attendant before and right now she's syempre financial consultant and unit manager. Yan, syempre, ito kahit natapos na yung promo, actually pwede pa rin kayo makabili nito, yung 272 pesos na personal accident insurance. Or we have other variants of personal, very affordable insurances naman on the Pulse app by ProLife UK on Play Store or App Store. Ayan, partner.
Ayan. So, yung sa ang tawag dito, Build Your Business seminar no ni partner nila TPG 7 PM. Sa amin naman ni Tony it's at 4 PM. So, you can just message us. So, ayan no. So tanong na natin ang tanong. So partner, ang tanong, again, sasagot po kayo pag kay MWP, hindi po sa Facebook, no? Sa YouTube channel po, Harold Gardon, The Millennial Wealth Planner. And pag kay TPG po, ang sagot ay sa TPG page. Ang tanong, ano ang TikTok account ni Tony? Nagtanong kayo, ano ang TikTok account ni Tony? So, yan. So, yan po, hintayin namin yung sagot. Siguro, while waiting for the answers, no, medyo may delay ng konti. Baka meron kang parang last tips, Tony, or to our viewers?
Okay, I mean, if someone were to tell me back then before I started, siguro what the tip that I would want to hear is, take the risk of posting content. And I guess, kasi you'll never really know what the future holds when it comes to creating content on Facebook. You never really know how many followers you'd get or how many people would find your content interesting. So if you love what you're doing, if you know that you know your own craft, whether it's about, financial services or about your own business, don't be afraid to put out content there, and don't give so much value to what other people would think of you. Yun yung tip that I would give.
Ayan. So, thank you, Tony, no, for that tip. Ayan. So, partner, may nanalo na ba? Yung sa akin po, hindi po dun sa Facebook, no? Sa YouTube po, Doc Dre, punta po kayo. So, check ko kung sa sumagot si Doc Dre. Ayan.
Yes, before ko announce, partner, yung nanalo sa TPG, basahin ko lang yung mga comments na nandito. Actually, we have a question. So, before yung question na yun, sabi ni Angela, yan, proud of you. Proud of sila sa'yo, Tony. And sabi naman ni Gabby, so please follow and subscribe, Money Health Check. And sabi ni Lou Rena, yan, thanks Tony for bringing up fresh ideas you've shared here on our live session. And sabi ni Sarina, part sa team ni partner, so you're amazing, Antonnette Aquino, intense itong episode na to. And ito yung question natin ay galing kay Clara, who is also a financial consultant of True Life UK. Sabi niya, tanong niya, wanted to use TikTok also. Super effective ba ito in getting clients or recruits?
Yes, actually, right now I was able to invite, I think, kasi when I posted that content about the financial services industry, I received more than 50 messages. So up to now, I'm still slowly trying to filter and doing a bit of a background check to see if, they would really be fit for this industry. So yes, for recruits, yes. For clients, it would really depend on the content that you put out. So again, it would come down to strategy and how much what kind of value that content would bring to your audience. Parang you have to follow that process as I've mentioned earlier. And then, yes, it could potentially attract or convert cold leads into hot leads.
Yes. Siguro to add sa sinabi mo, Tony, siguro for clients, hindi man, ito rin sinasabi ko sa talk ko sa different units and branches. Sa TikTok kasi yung iba talaga hindi kaagad-agad nako-close or nako-convert into clients. Pero, nasa tayo, di ba? We promote investing. Parang ganun din si TikTok. We invest content or the idea of saving money on the future generation, which is yung mga Gen Z nga, or yung susunod na generation. So ngayon man, hindi sila maging clients or mga close as clients. Pero ayan, at least later on, meron na silang idea. And yung brand, kaya napakahalaga din ng branding. Kasi yung mga mga brands or companies, they are adapting din. Wherein hindi na lang photos talaga, they are also creating advertisements na dapat yung may tugtog na pwedeng sayawin sa TikTok. So, ayan, nakikiuso na rin sila. Ang dami ng ganyan eh. So, parang tayo din, habang bago pa lang si TikTok, maganda na maka-adapt tayo agad. Kasi later on, maaring si Facebook, na siya, di ba? Parang si si Multiply, si Friendster, di ba, nawala. So, yung iba, hindi ka agad naka-adapt. So, ayan, sana tayo as financial consultants, ma-utilize or na natin siya agad, magamit to promote financial literacy. So, ang dami ko sinabi.
Okay yung partner.
Napagod ako dun.
Ayan. So partner, sino na ang nanalo?
Yes. Sayang merong sumagot na nauna si Clara. Kaya lang, ayun, kailangan ma-share yung ating live session mula sa TPG. Pero yan, yung nag-share at saka nakasagot ng tama ay si Mommy Pru. Ayan, congratulations, Ma'am Christina.
Congratulations, Mommy Pru.
Congrats.
And thank you nga pala, no? Nung birthday ko kasi, isa dun sa mga hinanda ko, yung lengua ng Hot Mama's Kitchen. So, pwede nyo po i-check yung Hot Mama's Kitchen na page ni Mommy Pru, no? Naging guest din po natin siya. And okay na okay po yung, anong tawag doon, partner? Crunchy garlic ba? Anong tawag doon? Yung garlic.
Crunchy garlic, yes.
Crunchy garlic. Yung crunchy garlic, no? Ayan. Yan. So, yan. Sa Facebook, nag-share kasi, nag-comment si, ang tawag dito, si Doc Dre, pero sa YouTube po, so screenshot nyo na lang. May nagtanong po, no, dito na kay Jemar, sabi niya, pwede daw ba minimum wage earners ay maka-avail pa rin ng insurance from Pru? Yes po, no, katulad ng sinabi kanina ni Mr. TPG, personal accident starts at 272. Per year na po yun, isang taon na po yun, personal accident. So for an Insuravest, the minimum is around 50 pesos per day or 1,500 per month. Pero syempre, we promote a comprehensive financial plan. That's why, check nyo po yung previous episodes namin. Alam ko, sa mga episode 3, 4, 5 yan, no? Yung importance of having an emergency fund first and discussing the financial pyramid. So, nandun po yun. And hopefully, ang galing partner, no? Kasi 51st episode na tayo. Tapos, ang dali na lang sabihin, oy, balikan nyo yung ibang episodes. Kasi if you want to learn, instead na mag-binge watch kayo ng Netflix, no? Pwede kayo mag-binge watch ng Learnflix ng late night tambayan, no? So, ayun. Ang dami ko rin sinabi, partner. Feeling ko antok na rin si Tony. Yun. So, partner, thank you very much again, Tony, no? Salamat. Ayan. Thank you very much for having us. Yan. And partner, so i-close ko na. Okay na ba? Okay na. Yan. Nag-comment na si Doc Dre. Ayan. Doc Dre, ayan, money health check. Yan. So, mukhang alam mo naman, Tony, yung number ni Doc Dre, no? Kasi ka-team natin siya sa Spark Amber.
Yes.
Ayan.
Ng grab reward.
Yes. Pa-message na lang si Tony. So, ayan. Bitin daw at gusto pa niya sa susunod, pero to know more, no, you can follow Tony kasi nandun naman po sa TikTok niya yung mga updates. So, yun po. So, again, thank you again, Tony, for accepting our invitation. Dami kong natutunan at nakaka-inspire, no? At such a young age, ang dami mo nang nagawa sa buhay, no? 20 years old, yes. Pero ibang klase. Ang daming industry, ang daming natutunan. And we pray that you will be able to help more Gen Zs, no, and millennials in their pursuit to financial freedom. So, yun. So, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed the 51st episode of the Late Night Tambayan with TPG and MWP. Kindly don't forget to follow us in Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, TikTok, lahat po ng social media channels, no? Nandiyan po kami. Pwede niyo po kami message.
Sa Kumo.
Is Harold Gardon. I'm the Millennial Wealth Planner and my partner is...
Yes, partner, magpapahabol ako ng mga shoutout dito. So, pa-shoutout daw sa page ni Clara sa She Thinks Finance. And sabi din dito ni Darlo na nguwap. So, isa siya daw sa mga random TikTok users attracted to the knowledge imparted by Miss Antonnette Aquino. A real crowd drawer indeed. So,
thank you,
ayan. At saka, siguro dagdag ko lang doon sa kinoment mo kanina, partner, kay Jemar. Just prepare your debit or credit card para sa Pulse para ma-issue siya agad. Ayan. So, ayan. Thank you again, Tony, for being our guest dito sa Late Night Tambayan. And I hope sa mga nanood na financial consultants or sa mga magre-replay nito, marami kayo natutunan. I'm Bille Cristiane Temanel. See you again on Sunday. So, our guest is Albee. So, siguradong masaya din itong episode kasi masayahin si Albee.
Yes,
so, see you on Sunday. Yes. See you on Sunday, same time, 11 p.m. And I'm Bille Cristiane Temanel, founder and content creator of the Prudent Generation. At kami ni partner ni Harold na kasama ninyo sa daan tungo sa pinansyal na kalayaan. Maraming salamat sa panonood.